watching Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video I'm coming on here to talk about wide receiver Julio Jones and how there's talks about Washington being one of the teams that's favored to land him. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. We're so close to 3,000 subscribers. I know we can get there in no time with you guys' support. Let's get straight into today's video. So according to JPA Football on Instagram, I know a lot of people don't like his account, but he is trustworthy in my opinion. I do follow him on both of his accounts, obviously the football team one and JPA. He seemed to be really trustworthy and his news seems to be legit. So he put a betting odds out for the teams to land wide receiver Julio Jones, and Washington was one of the top favorites, and they're actually tied with the team to land Julio Jones. Now, with that being said, this very well can mean nothing. You know what I mean? This can mean zero things. All the teams that are on this list could very well not land Julio Jones, and the team that's not on this list could land Julio Jones. But before we continue with that, let's talk about how this somewhat, got started. We go a while back. We know Julio Jones been wanting to get traded. We know Julio Jones has been wanting to get out of Atlanta because, one, he really can't stay healthy, and I don't want to blame that on Atlanta, but maybe he needs a new change of scenery for him to stay healthy. That's one. Two, he's just sick and tired of losing. Julio Jones is the best receiver of our generation. Let's just be real. Julio Jones is the best receiver of our generation. I'm not talking about the newcomers that are just now starting to cook, like Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs. I'm talking way before they even entered the league. Julio Jones was already, like that. With Roddy White and Julio Jones, when Julio Jones was a rookie. We know what we're talking about here now. You know what I'm saying? That's the Julio Jones I'm talking about. That was the GOAT of our era. And even Julio Jones now, he just can't stay healthy. So go a while back, we know he's been frustrated with Atlanta. Fast forwarding to last week with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless on their show, they were talking about Julio Jones and possibly joining the Dallas Cowboys. And Shannon Sharpe said, you know what, let me call up Julio Jones and ask him personally. Now, Julio Jones didn't pick up the phone at first, but then he called him again and he picked up the phone the second time, and to Julio Jones' knowledge, he thought this was just a regular phone call. But then at the same time, after watching it in full, Shannon Sharpe did say, we're on air, so let me call you back. But I did see that he was under fire for talking to Julio Jones on air without him knowing. But honestly, back to what we were talking about and what the point of this video was and the point of this discussion with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, he asked him, Julio, you want to go to the Dallas Cowboys? And first he said, Julio, you want to stay in Atlanta or do you want to go to the Dallas Cowboys? He said, oh, nah, man, I'm out of there. The Atlanta Falcons. Then he addressed the Dallas Cowboys situation, because if you want to know another thing that's going on with Julio Jones is he wore a Dallas Cowboys jacket, like sweater, out in public, took a picture with the fans, and obviously the NFL world went crazy, went berserk, because he was wearing a Dallas Cowboys jacket. It was already talks about him leaving Atlanta, so people thought that he got traded to the Dallas Cowboys. But then he came out and said, nah, man, I don't want to go to the Dallas Cowboys. And he also said, and this was more, the respectable response was, man, I just want to go somewhere where I can win. And honestly, with Julio Jones, I like Julio Jones for what he done. And like I said, maybe his answer would have been different if he did know he was on air from the start. But I like how he just kept it real, you know what I'm saying? And obviously he was going to do that because he thought he was just talking to Shannon Sharpe one-on-one. But he just kept it 100. He said, nah, man, I don't want to go to Dallas Cowboys. Nah, man, I'm out of Atlanta. I just want to go somewhere where I can win. And with Julio Jones, although he isn't the same Julio from years past, he's still one of the best NFL receivers when he is healthy, and that's the big question. Julio Jones is only going to be healthy for like 3 games and then out for the rest. If he can somehow find a way to stay healthy, I wouldn't be surprised at Julio's age, 31, 32 years old, he's still a top receiver in his league and have a top year. Now that moves on to my point about the Washington football team and the betting odds. So I have the betting odds pulled up in front of me, and this is on multiple websites, not just JPA's Instagram page, betting websites by the name of Betting AGO and other websites like that. They have the Titans as the most favorite team to land Julio Jones, plus 175. Then you have the Patriots, plus 500. Then you have the Washington football team and the 49ers tied, plus 750. Washington and the 49ers are both tied to land Julio Jones, and they're the 3rd and 4th team, and obviously they can be switched around as the 3rd, 4th team favorite to land Julio Jones. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this could mean diddly squat. The team that's not on this list could very well land Julio Jones, and it's all about what you're willing to give up, because the Atlanta Falcons, I don't think they're going to cut him. They already came out and said that they want at least a 2nd round for Julio Jones, which in some people's eyes may be a little too much. And for Washington, maybe they're just like, hey, I want to go with my young guys. You know what I'm saying? We got De'Ami Brown, we got Terry McLaurin, we got Curtis Samuel, obviously we got Adam Humphries, who is a veteran in this league. We got Kelvin Harmon, Campson. Maybe I want to ride with them. But at the same time, maybe Ron's like, hey, a 2nd, we're in win now mode, man. A 2nd, it wouldn't be too bad to get a veteran guy like Julio up in here for on a 1-year deal to see what he can do. Not only will he help the young guys around him, maybe he can provide on the field. So, like I said, man, it's all up to what Ron Rivera wants to do, obviously. Now, do I think it's likely that Julio Jones lands with the Washington football team? No, I do not. I don't even think Washington is entertaining what Julio Jones and the Atlanta Falcons have going on. But I just want to bring how we're favored to land Julio Jones according to multiple betting websites. Now, there are some betting websites that don't even have us on a list. There are also some betting websites that has us right in the middle, or there's some that have us higher than the list that I read off to you guys. So, like I said, this could very well mean nothing. So don't take it too into consideration about landing Julio Jones, or don't take it too serious about landing Julio Jones, because once again, this team could very well not be worried about Julio Jones, or we could be picking up that phone and calling Atlanta to see what they were willing to trade for Julio Jones, or what will it take to land Julio Jones. I can just imagine Julio Jones in this offense, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. With Ryan Fitzpatrick or even Taylor Heineke, who I want to be the starter, but I don't think it's going to happen. Just imagine Julio Jones, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, rotational piece. Kelvin Harmon or Cam Sims, a rotational piece. You know what I'm saying? Adam Humphries, he then would be the backup slot, because Curtis Samuel would be the starting slot. I would love that, man. I'm going to be honest. Like I said, Julio Jones is the greatest wide receiver of this era, and let's just be real. You gotta give a man his props when it's due. He's been that man since he came into the league. So like I said, with Julio Jones joining the Washington football team, although he's not the same Julio from years past, he's still a threat. He's still going to require a lot of attention from DBs, and then that's only going to open up Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin even more. If we land Julio Jones, we might have top 5 receiving core in the NFL, and Terry McLaurin might finally have that all-pro Pro Bowl year, because last year he had it. I think he should have got in, but he obviously didn't. And then the year before that, his rookie year, he was just shy of 1,000 yards because 1, he got hurt, and 2, he had poor QB play, and he had poor QB play in 2020. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this year is the year, if we do land Julio Jones, the year that Terry McLaurin gets what he deserves, and rightfully so. So yeah, man, I just wanted to come on here and talk about Julio Jones and this situation that's going on. Washington is one of the favorites, and along with other 3 teams, to land Julio Jones. Above them, you have the Titans and Patriots, and the team that they're tied with, the San Francisco 49ers. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below. As always, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I know we can get there soon with you guys' support. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you pop, get you drop.